Hello everyone, I'm Celine. So thank you come in my channel. So today I also read the English article for you. If I have incorrect pronunciation, please tell me. Thank you. This is article. Start. This is a story about two boys, Tom and Edward, who live in London. Tom is born into a poor family where he is beaten by his father and grandmother, while Edward is the Princess of Wales and the successor to King Harry. One day, Tom wanders near the palace and Edward invites him in. The 2 days decided to switch places, and after the change closes, Edward as Tom is thrown out of the palace, while Tom as Edward stays in the palace. Both boys have a hard time adjusting to their new lives, as Edward realizes that he has no power and gets beaten, and Tom realizes that he is trapped in being a prince and that everyone thinks that he lost his man. Tom awkwardly makes his way through a royal meal and encounters with the king, who is looking for a good sale. Edward is dragged to Tom's home by Tom's father, while Edward sleeps for the night. The following day, Tom's father runs into Tom and escapes persecution for beating a man, and Edward runs away in the street crowd. Tom attends a big dinner in the evening with dancing and food. However, King Harry suddenly dies, and Tom is meeting King, proclaiming that he will not rule in blood. Edward tries to enter the dinner, but is turned away by the crowd. A man named Miles Hendon befriends Edward and takes him back to his place to rest. After Miles and Edward share their story, Miles playing along with Edward that he is, in fact, the king and serves him while he eats. Edward one knights Miles and offers him anything he wishes, which Miles requests that he and her and his heirs always be under the protection of king. Tom, as king, befriends a whooping boy and frees 3 people who are wrongfully accused of crimes. Edward wandered into a company of vagabonds for a night, where they share stories of their past, and when Edward commands respect because he is king, the group of men mock him. The group of men and Edward enter nearby town to cause trouble, and Edward runs away. One of the men gets caught stealing. Edward ends up sleeping in a bar and awakes the next day to the hospitality of a woman and her daughters. However, Tom's father appears at the farm and Edward runs away. Edward meets a hermit who claims to be an archangel and stayed with him for a night. However, when Edward mentions that his father was a late King Harry, the hermit tries him up and sharpens his knife. Just as the hermit is about to kill Edward, Miles knocks the door looking for Edward. The hermit leads Miles away in the woods, but Tom's father finds Edward and takes him back to the gun. The gun goes back into town to steal, and Edward is set up by one of the gang members, who leaves him behind to get arrested. Edward is brought in front of a jungle, but Miles defends him in court. On the way to jail, Miles convinces the guard to let Edward go, and Miles and Edward travel to Miles' old home, where his family and large mansion await. However, when Miles arrives at the estate, he is accused of being an imposter because the family believes that Miles died. Because no one seemed to know Miles, Miles and Edward are taken to jail, where Edward gets to know well the other prisoners. In jail, an old man recognizes Miles, and Miles scarifies himself to take a whipping for Edward. When Miles and Edward are eventually released, they travel to Westminster to confront Tom at the royal coronation ceremony. Tom enjoys the coronation as he is adored by the people, but as the ceremony continues, he becomes bored and saddened that he is not really the king. Edward then appears to claim to be a real king, but everyone thinks he is lying. Tom then tells the officials that it's true, and the only way to prove it is for Edward to tell them where the good seal is located. At first, Edward can't remember, but he eventually remembers, and it's mid-king. In the end, King Edward protects Tom and Miles, and those he met in the jails, ruling for only short time until he dies. Thank you for listening. So today, bye bye. Next time I will see you.